Hi there, and welcome back to another ZionWorx 5 beta walkthrough video. My name is Ollie, and in this video, we're going to spend some time with the brand new theme editor. In the previous betas, this was one of the tools that wasn't wired up yet. So if you clicked it and nothing happened, this is the release that fixes just that. Thanks again to our beta testers for sticking with us and taking the time to test as we go. Let's dive in. First, a quick word on what a theme actually is, because it shapes everything that follows. In ZionWorx, a theme is a file containing all the graphical information about styling and appearance that will be applied to your playlist items. A theme isn't just a background image, it's a stack of layers sitting one in front of another that together make up everything you see on the screen. The theme editor is where you build and fine-tune that stack, and it's been rebuilt from the ground up for version 5. To open it up, head to the Tools group on the command bar and click Theme Editor. It's here that you'll get a couple of choices. Edit Theme will open the editor on the theme of whatever playlist item you currently have selected so you can tweak it in place. If you'd rather start fresh, New Text Theme or New Media Theme will seed a brand new theme based on your selected item. Just remember that a text theme needs something textual selected first, like a song, a scripture, or a quick slide. And a media theme needs an image slideshow or a camera feed selected. Pick one and the editor opens up in its own window in the center of your screen. On the left, taking up most of the window, is the live preview. It updates the moment you change anything. Up at the top, you'll find the command bar with all your tools, and over on the right is where most of your editing happens. There's a splitter between the panels too, so you can drag them around to give yourself more room whenever you need it. The right-hand side is split into two layers. At the top is your layer list, showing every layer in the theme. The order of your layers matters here, because the layer at the top of the list is the one furthest forward, sitting in front of everything below it. You can click and drag any layer to change its position in the list. Click any layer to select it, and the panel underneath fills up with all of its properties ready to edit. There's a splitter between the two, so if you're working on a theme with lots of layers, you can drag it down and give the list more space. To select the layer that you'd like to edit, clicking it in the list is one way to do that. But you can also click on them directly in the preview and it will become selected with a selection band drawn around it. If you'd like to deselect a layer, click on the grey area outside of the canvas. Once a layer is selected and you can see its band, you can grab it and move it around the preview or take hold of one of the handles to resize it. To rotate a layer in 3D space, click the rotate button in the toolbar at the bottom or press Ctrl R with your layer selected. The editor will swap the selection band for a full 3-axis rotation gizmo. You'll see 3 rings appear around your layer. Drag any one of them and the layer rotates around that axis, so you can tilt and turn things in genuine 3-dimensional space. If you rotate something and don't like it, just double-click the ring to snap that axis back to 0. One thing to note is that while you're in rotation mode, the canvas is locked to the layer that you're working on, so a stray click won't accidentally jump you to a different layer mid-adjustment. When you're done, click Rotate again, or Ctrl R, to come back out and carry on selecting as normal. There are 2 main types of layers, roll layers and decorative layers. Roll layers are pre-made and cannot be deleted. They change according to the type of theme that you are editing. Roll layers are populated with the text or media provided by the playlist item it applies to. For a text theme, the roll layers are header, body, and footer. Header and footer layers can be disabled, while body layer cannot. When this theme is applied to a song, for example, these roll layers will be populated with the song title, song lyrics, and copyright information. For a media theme, there is one roll layer which is the media layer. When applied to an image slideshow or camera feed playlist item, this media roll layer will be populated with that media. As well as the roll layers, there are 4 types of decorative layers that you can add to your theme. You can add as many of these as you'd like. The 4 types are color layer, if you'd like to add a solid color, gradient layer, if you'd like to add a color gradient, text layer, if you'd like to add some unchanging text separate from the text roll layers, and media layer, if you'd like to import a video or image into your theme, separate from the media roll layers. Below the layer list, there are 5 expandable groups of editing controls that make up the property sheet. The first group is content controls. This group changes according to the layer type that's selected. If it's a gradient layer you've selected, you'll find controls for the gradient style, whether it's linear with an angle or radial with an adjustable center point. You can also add as many colours as you'd like, and right-click any stop to delete it, though a gradient always keeps at least 2 colours, so it can't collapse down to 1. If you've selected a media layer, you'll get a Choose Media button to pick an image or video file for that layer, as well as a Clear button to empty it. For both decorative text layers and text roll layers, there are all the controls you'd expect to see in a text editor for styling text. These include font, size, colour, alignment, and much more, even effects like outline, shadow, and glow. For decorative text layers, there's an input box where you can actually write your text, but for the body text roll layer, things get interesting. One of the most powerful parts of the whole editor is the ability to customize section styles. When you're editing the main body text of a theme, you'll see a section selector. It starts on default, and whatever you set there becomes the baseline for everything else. But then you can pick a specific section, say your verses or your choruses, and override just bits you want to change for that section, while everything else keeps inheriting from the default. So you could have your choruses in a different font or in a different colour without touching anything else. To help you keep track of all that, we've added a little visual cue. Whenever a section overrides one of the properties, a small coloured dot appears right next to the control, so you can see at a glance exactly what you've customised and what's still inherited. If you change your mind about one of them, just single-click the dot and that property resets straight back to the inherited value. The section selector itself shows a dot next to any section that's carrying overrides, so you always know which of your sections you've been tinkering with. Alongside the changing content groups in the property sheet, there are 4 other groups that apply to every type of layer. First is the appearance section. Here you can change the layer's shape, its fill colour, and round off the corners with a radius. You can switch on a border and choose its colour and width. There's also opacity control, with both a value box and a slider for dialing a layer's transparency up and down. Underneath that sits the effects group, a drop shadow with its own colour, a glow with a colour and an intensity control, and a reflection you can switch on and adjust the strength and fall off of. Because the preview is live, you can watch every one of these land as you nudge it. Further down is the location controls, your X and Y position, and the width and height. Below that is depth, with a slider and a little reset button next to it. You can also select a priority setting to control where the layer sits in the stack. Below that is the orientation group, where you have your 3 rotation values: rotation, tilt, and swivel, each with its own slider and reset, plus an anchor setting that controls the point everything pivots around. Underpinning all of this is an undo and redo system. Every single change you make is undoable, with the click of a button in the toolbar or the key commands Ctrl-Z to undo, or Ctrl-Shift-Z or Ctrl-Y to redo. Even a drag where you might have moved something through dozens of positions folds down into one clean undo step rather than dozens of tiny ones. Redo works exactly as you'd expect, and if you've really gone off the rails and want to start again, the revert button in the toolbar throws away all of your unsaved changes and takes you right back to the last saved version. Once you're happy with your changes, saving is straightforward. The save button in the command bar saves your changes to the theme library, and on its drop down, you'll find Save As if you'd rather save it as a new theme. The best thing you can do for us is to genuinely have a go. Build a theme the way you'd actually want one for a Sunday. Rotate things, layer things up, and use song sections on your body text layer. See where it holds up and where it doesn't. If you find a bug or you've got an idea for how something could work better, just email us at support@jubilatesoftware.com. Thank you so much again for your help with this. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. God bless.